Check it out. This video is about a content creator named Rollo Tomassi and a recent tweet he made that caused a lot of controversy. And the video here is going to tell you the top reasons why he made that tweet. Now, if you haven't seen the tweet, it's right directly on Rollo Tomassi's Twitter page. He did it around May 2nd. There's around 6 million views as of this video. And really the line that's getting everyone going is line 3, right? Having a vasectomy in your 20s as one of the key components to be a high value man. See, the number one reason why Rollo would push a tweet like this is he's trying to get engagement. That's right. I'm not talking about engagement in terms of a marriage context. He's trying to get traffic to his brand in order to push his products. More particularly, because once he made this tweet, right below, he's adding in his player's handbook, one of his products. You see, that's one of the reasons that Rollo is doing this. And it's not just him. A lot of people are doing this. They make something provocative, making something crazy. Like, let's say Little Pump. Remember, he said, "I hate no jumper," right when he was pushing his project, right? Everybody knows you did a little bit of controversy, so you have something to coincide a little bit of a product. So we ain't saying that Rollo is clout chasing, but Rollo is clout chasing. And I ain't hating on it because that's part of the game of being a content creator, right? You gotta do what it takes to put food on the table. That's how you get your money, because I get it. I believe Rollo Tomassi lives in Las Vegas, and Vegas is getting a bit more expensive. It ain't as cheap as it used to be. A lot of newcomers with money are moving into the city, and when that happens, the prices go all the way up, right? People who don't like the area they're currently living in, they're saying, hey, Vegas might be a good spot for me, right? The city of Vegas, they're trying to be more than just a gambling, a party town. They're trying to be a little bit more than that, and those efforts is going to cause people with money to move in. And Rollo's saying, man, when I moved into Vegas, it was a bit cheap and affordable. Now the rent's getting too expensive. The places I used to chill at, I gotta pay triple, maybe even quadruple the price what I used to do. So let me do a little bit of a clout chasing and controversy to maybe get some traction so I can hopefully get my money and my sales up. And I ain't hating on that, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Maybe that's something in Rollo's book, The Player's Handbook. Plus, Rollo is doing this clout chasing, or whatever you call it, the clout generating move, because let's face it, the Access Vegas podcast, I'll be honest, it's a little bit boring, man. Like, I really don't want to hear evolutionary psychology or intellectual talk when we see 304s or crazy people on the panel. I want to see action. I want to see people getting kicked out. I want to hear raunchy talk. In fact, I would say one of the top episodes in Access Vegas is when they invited Fresh and Fit all the way from the East Coast down to Vegas and basically took over the podcast. And when they kicked that 304 out, that was a highlight. In fact, that was like when somebody throws a football and then the wide receiver catches the football and makes a touchdown. Kicking out that 304 was a touchdown moment, especially when they say one's in the chat to keep, one's in the chat to keep, or 2 to kick out. I'm pressing that 2 as much as possible, or maybe it's 1 to kick out, 2 to keep. If that's the case, I'm pressing 1 as much as possible, to the point I might need a new keyboard, right? I want action. I want actually things that are happening. I want to hear intellectual talk. I want to hear things that are crazy at a non-intellectual level. And the other host, I think his name is Michael. Yo, this guy's probably, he reminds me of a strip club manager. He's probably the dude that tells the guy who gets too drunk, hey, get this guy out of here, right? And it's obviously the women who are invited to this show know Michael somehow. Maybe they work for him. Maybe they are like a server. Maybe they're part of his network. That's why it's really hard for Michael to really press them, because he needs the people he invites on the show for his other work, right? I think he does, maybe, I don't know, he owns a restaurant. You know, he's probably that dude that, you know, is the restaurant owner. And when the waiter or the waitress is not doing the job, that guy steps in saying, how may I help you, sir? He probably owns the strip club to the point where it's like, hey, these chicks, they work for me at the strip club. How about you work for me in this podcast format? That's why he needs these people, right? those people that are on the show are more valuable to him as a good relationship measure, not as someone once they kick out, they don't want to work with this guy anymore. So I'll be honest, man, I don't want to see intellectual talk. I need more raunchy talk, more fights. There's a reason why you see Blueface when he had that OnlyFans of like random chicks that live in his house. The biggest highlights were the fights, the boxing fights, right? So funny when you see that people like to watch boxing, but they don't watch boxing. Because when you tell them, hey, when you ask them, do you watch boxing? Yeah, I watch Jake Paul. Oh, when you mention a real boxer, they don't watch boxing. It's like people who listen to Eminem saying, I love rap. But then when you ask them what other rappers they listen to, they say, I don't know, I just listen to Eminem. It's like those type of people. They watch boxing, but they don't really watch boxing. But Rollo ain't really off the mark. When he had that vasectomy line, or I guess that line is now cut, pause, you know, he's trying to emphasize that being a high value man is focus, right? You really got to hone in on your craft. You can't really be distracted by other things like maybe having a relationship, having children, having family. Because what's the number one complaint about high achieving people, supposedly high value men in the families, is that they ain't available enough to spend time with the family, whether it's with the spouse, whether it was with the kids. Usually the number one complaint is, yeah, my dad was super successful in high driving, but that came at a cost, which is lack of time with the family. And that's life. In order to be very good at something, it's all about focus, right? Let's say you're Tom Brady, you got to focus a lot on your football skills and you have to sacrifice other things, maybe time with the kids, time with the spouse. You just really don't have enough time, right? Everybody has 24 hours a day. Somebody who is high value has to hone most of those hours towards that skill that gets that achievement, that gets the money, that gets the status, that ultimately gets the win, like LeBron James in basketball. In order for him to be the best of the best, or any other type of athlete who has to be the best of the best, they got to spend that time to be what they ought to be. And unfortunately, that may sacrifice family time. And family consists of kids. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids in your family. That's a lot of kids you got to take care of, and unfortunately with 24 hours it just ain't enough time. So Rollo is not really off the mark. It's kind of like the song, I don't know, by Kanye West. You just got to be provocative in order to get your message out. When you're boring, when you're intellectual, when you're just bullet point, nobody listens. But when you're provocative, people come and listen. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Put a like and subscribe. Put a comment below if you got something to say about it. I'll see y'all next time.